Good morning, everybody. It is January 25th, Saturday, for our coffee talk today. We will be bringing on awesome woman named Leigh. And Leigh, I go back and forth between calling you Leigh and Leanne because of your
So
Facebook
I just
name.
go by Leigh, but I don't really want to put my last name, I guess, out there because otherwise patients find me and
I get that.
it's just
Okay, so
awkward.
yeah,
So
and then they start asking you questions. See, I
yeah.
understand that because I'm friends with where is she? Rainy's not on here. She's a physician's assistant, and I have another girlfriend who's a physician's assistant, and I feel bad that they're friends with me because anytime I have a question, I'm going to them first.
It's all right.
Anyway, today we are bringing Leigh on here because I'm so inspired by Leigh. I was just talking to my husband earlier, and I said, you know what? My whole postpartum journey this last time with Chase, with my fourth child, I always went back to looking at Leigh's postpartum journey with your third child. I always went back to it because I'm like, I can relate so much to your story, and you know, I'm not somebody who completely bounces back in a month or two. Like, that's not me. It takes me a long time. I'm not saying it took you a long time, but I'm just saying
It took me a long time.
it takes a long time for me to
It
get
takes a
back.
long
And
time.
I don't know if it's my body, my genetics, or whatever, or just because I'm like stuffing my face from nursing. I really don't know if it's hormones or whatever, but it takes me a long time. And I feel like people put their pictures out there so soon and they're like perfect right after having a baby. And for me, it's just so discouraging. So like, even if it took you 4, 5, 6 months, it's still discouraging to me because it takes me like 18 months to even get remotely close to where I was before. And so I would look at Leigh's pictures because she was so inspiring. She would share her story. She wouldn't like be held back by it. And even if you were on the inside,
Yes.
and I would constantly just use that as my guide. Like, okay, it's not a big deal. Not everybody bounces back in 2 minutes. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. And so she really inspired me a lot. So thank you, Leigh, for being
No problem.
open and sharing. And then Leigh got pregnant with her fourth baby.
I did. I got in like the best shape of my life. And then boop.
And it's funny
I call
because
that workout 80-day fertility.
you and another girl in our challenge group both got pregnant at like the same time, right after I had my baby, or while I was still pregnant, I think. And they were both having their fourth children. So like all three of us had our fourth baby within like 6 months of each other. So it was crazy. But Leigh, I would like
Crazy.
I'm just going to have you just dive in here now that I already told half of your story. Can you tell me what, because I know you were doing, you were working with Beachbody products before we met.
Yeah.
So
yes.
tell me why you even found, like, how did you even find Beachbody programs, and why were you even looking for them in the first place?
All right. So, after Jace, my second child, which was 2014, I think I got back into shape a little bit quicker. Like my first child, maybe it took me 6, 9 months. And the next child maybe took me like 9. And then the last child, or after Jace, so number 2, it was like I couldn't lose the last 5 pounds. Like I was like stuck. I couldn't like kind of still work on that midsection that's always a little bit lagging postpartum. And a friend was doing coaching Beachbody at the time. And so I joined, and then I did the 21 Fix Extreme, and I lost that 5 pounds. Like it sold me. Lost the 5 pounds, got, I think, better abs than I ever had in my 20s. And I was sold. And then of course you get pregnant again. And so I got pregnant again. And then I knew after Jackson, I'm just going to go back to it. And then I was searching online. I told you this before, for these meatball recipes on Pinterest that I liked. And I found Ashley. And so then I followed you to your Facebook page and started, like friending you. And then when I was ready to really go back to it, like 6 months postpartum, I messaged you and said, hey, I want to start. Let's get back to this. And with Jackson, I was really ready to go at 6 months. Like I was like ready to jump in. And I already was, again, I already been doing 21 Fix Extreme. I was already doing the portions. I was already doing the workout. So I already knew what to go back to. It was just going back home and restarting it and getting consistent. So I think last time I really got better results faster because I don't know, with the kids, I mean, it's just different when you're adding in another child. I was just able to get consistent again and get my nutrition on track. And so then, yeah, I lost all the baby weight probably by summer, 7-8 months that time. And then I was really just continuing it to, I mean, I love the workouts, and I just saw my body changing and changing and changing and like evolving and just getting more muscles and more defined. And it's just so rewarding when you see those changes in your body, and it's easy to keep up. And then, like I said, I was like probably in the best shape of my life doing 80-day obsession, and then pregnancy again. And so I worked out probably for the first few months during the pregnancy. And then I kind of pulled back because I started to have some issues. And so I pulled back, and I mean, I think every single pregnancy I gained like 40 to 50 pounds. And so I just kind of tried to keep on track of my nutrition, but still gained, 50 pounds in the process. But this time it was a lot harder to get back into it. 4 kids under 8. It was really hard to get consistent again with workouts, but I tried my best, and I just leaned in on the nutrition and all the skills that I've learned over the years of doing this already. So, yeah.
I love your determination. And honestly, those 3 ladies I said who had, their 4th babies, it's like we also had the most stressful time of our life ever with that 4th child. Not saying the 4th child caused it, but it was like so stressful. And so I feel like something that I'm just so proud of you guys, and especially you, is the determination of not giving up. Like, I'm not going to beat myself up and hate myself over this. I'm going to give myself grace, but I am not giving up. Like, I will get back into that routine of fitness, of working out every day, of making my meals, of being prepared, of having good nutrition. I'm not giving up on this because I know what it felt like before, and I'm going back there, and I'm just so proud of you. And I just think that is a hard thing, especially when things aren't going as quick as you want it to be, right? You have to like give yourself grace, calm yourself down, and keep going.
Yeah, I think I'm like on a 6-month, I'm 6 months late the last time I was getting back in shape. I'm definitely on a 6-month lag, and I'm okay with it. I'm getting there. I'm fighting my way. And like you said, it's not the 4th child. It's just combining all the needs of all the children and work and life together all at the same time.
Yes, absolutely. And what do you do for work?
I'm a PA. I'm a physician assistant in a dermatology office.
And do you now, do you work full time, or do you work a couple days a week?
I was 4 days, and then in September I decided to pull back, so I'm 3 days. And yeah, it's helping a lot.
That's good.
With everything, and allowing me to take care of myself again. Like otherwise I was just running ragged on everything.
Yeah, you've got to take a step back and realize, okay, where can I make adjustments in my life, which might be a sacrifice in other areas, financially maybe, and to make sure that I'm living healthy. And that's so important. So, but either way, no matter what, you're a super busy person. So I want to talk to you about your nutrition. You obviously are in love with the workout programs, but do you think you would have been able to get such great results just doing the fitness and not dialing your nutrition with them also?
I definitely don't think so. I think like my nutrition completely changed from before I started Beachbody. Like I would just try to eat healthy. So I just eat whatever healthy foods I just chose. And it totally changed my mindset with like the portions, like macronutrition, and trying to figure out how much I was probably like not eating enough protein, overeating fruits and carbs, and maybe okay on veggies. Cause I try to eat healthy, but it definitely changed. I definitely think, dialing it in and getting, I don't know, following has definitely been better. Yeah. I usually say, I think that the nutrition helps you lose the weight, but the workouts tone and refine the muscles and shape it.
That's true. I
Yeah.
find the same thing. And so your go-to thing, because you started with like 21 Day Fix and Extreme, is to use the containers.
Yes.
Tell me
Yeah.
a little bit about a super busy mom, life with 4 children, working and trying to manage the containers. Because I ask this because some people come to me and they're like, well, that's just too much. Like, it's too much to do the containers. Tell me, how have you found the sweet spot with your super busy life and figuring out how to manage eating the container system?
I think number one, I keep it consistent. You know, I have a consistency where I kind of eat the same thing at most days of the week, like maybe just like not necessarily the same thing, but the same containers each morning, you know? So I usually have like a protein and maybe a fruit for breakfast. And then for lunch, I generally have like a protein veggie fruit. And then I split up like usually the fats, like just having nuts for like a snack. And then again, dinner is typically protein veggie, maybe carbs that I didn't eat all my carbs beforehand in some fashion. But I kind of have like the same containers all the time. But I
Mm-hmm.
remember when I first started, I just tried to work on just eating only the foods on the list and not really crazy about measuring things out. And then as I got used to that, then I kind of zeroed in on actually like, you know, measuring it to get the best results. And then kind of, I think at this point, I can eyeball things and I'm like, that's about a protein portion, you know, and it gets a
Yeah.
little easier.
You said so much right there. So hold on one
Sorry.
second. Go back. So I love the idea that at first you decided just to follow the food list and not
Yes.
be totally crazy about measuring out the food. Just
Cut
to
out
get,
the processed.
yeah. No, that's a great, and it's so simple to just say, okay, only eat these foods on this food list. If it's not on the food list, don't eat it. And that already cuts out half of this, like the sugar, the drinks, the junk food, the box stuff. Like, it just cuts that out. So you really don't
Yeah.
even have to say cut out this, this, and this, and this. Just eat from this list.
Yes.
I love that.
And then just
I've never heard
moderate the
somebody say
carbs.
that. I love that. It sounds so silly, but oh yeah, and then monitor the yellows.
Yeah. I think that's the key for me.
That is probably for a lot of people. And then you said, now you've come into this like consistent routine of, what did you say you were eating for breakfast? A protein and a fruit, right? A
Yeah.
red and
Protein and fruit.
okay.
Yeah.
So protein, fruit, and then for lunch you usually have a protein, veggie, and fruit.
No.
And then oops.
Yeah.
And then for
Yeah.
hold on one second.
So sometimes I have a carb in there because sometimes I'll have like a sweet potato at lunch, or sometimes I'll just save my carbs for dinner. Because I'm okay eating, like sometimes I'll have like salad with chicken. Sometimes I'll do this like veggie frittata that has sweet potatoes on top, so that will be a carb.
Okay.
And then usually I save my carbs for dinner.
So you're on plan A, right?
Yes. Yep.
And so you get two
Carbs.
yellows. And so you're
Yes.
saying you keep one for dinner usually, and then
Yeah.
maybe mix one up throughout the
Maybe
day.
mix one. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I love that. And then where, like, you drink Shakeology every day, right?
Almost. Yeah.
So where do you typically put that in?
So that's usually breakfast. Definitely during my days at work. That's my breakfast. So I do the Shakeology with half a frozen banana, a little bit of almond milk, water, ice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love it.
That's just easy on the go, drinking it on my way to work.
Love it. And so you have that in the morning and you drink it on your way to work.
Yeah. I drink it on my way to work.
I love it. So time efficient. So honestly, like, if somebody were to be thinking about doing the containers and they're like overwhelmed at first, I love your system of being like, listen, you can just ease it in. And honestly, once you kind of plan out where you're going to have your containers, like in what combination, then you just stick with it and it's not that big of a deal. Right.
Right. And sometimes like I'll just pack my snacks. Like I bring a cooler to work. So it has my, my snacks, my lunch, and then sometimes the snacks I just eat whenever, like, between patients in the morning or in the afternoon. So I may not eat like the almonds every morning, but I have them in there and an apple, and I'll eat it whenever I get a chance and want to.
Love it. Do you actually measure? Everybody asks me this question. Do you eat out of the containers? I'm like, no, like I put it on my plate, but do you eat the nuts? Do you like fill them up in the container?
Well, sometimes I do. I actually do put them in a container, but right now it's on the Beachbody one, even though I have them. But I usually do a little bag. or
Okay.
something. And I
Like,
used to count them out, but now I kind of, again, I think like at almonds, it's really just like a handful. So
I love
but
that.
I used to count out 20 pistachios.
Yes, I did too. Here's the thing, guys. When you're doing something like this, it's really only the beginning in which you're like trying to figure things out, that you're fully using the containers. And I say this to a lot of
Yes.
people. I said, if you're using the containers in the beginning while you're losing weight, and you're like measuring them out and everything, that's good because you want to be measuring them out. But after a while, you know what it looks like and it's
Yes.
visual. You don't need to use the containers anymore unless you've hit a plateau. If you've hit a plateau of what you want your results to look like and you can't go past it, I highly recommend the very first thing you do is just start measuring out your food again, because your visual is probably being stretched, right?
Totally agree. Yes. That's what I've done. Like,
yeah, love it. And that makes a huge difference in, like, it just becomes a lifestyle. So when somebody says to me, oh, I can't keep up with this diet, or this diet, blah, 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 right? It's, okay, first of all, the definition of a diet is just what you're eating every day. So try to like change your like idea of what a diet is. Diet is just what you're eating. That is a diet. You are eating a diet no matter what. You have a diet, right? And if you're trying to eat to lose weight and you're following this, you should, like, it'll work. But as you do it, it becomes a lifestyle, and it's something that is balanced well enough to be a lifestyle. And like, you've been doing this for a while now. How do you feel like, do you feel like this has become a lifestyle? Do you struggle doing this, or is this just how you live now?
It's second nature now. Totally second nature.
And how do you, when someone asks like, oh, well, does anybody ever say to you like, well, you don't eat cake, you don't have chocolate, like, what do you say? Like, how do you live?
I'm about 75% on. So I'm like, I still enjoy life, you know? So, you know, I think, you know, me being like 75 to 80% on gets me results. You know, maybe I'm lucky. So I do have my treats. I don't deprive myself. And if I was not getting results, or if I'm like you said, plateau, then I pull back and I start to hone in, you know, like right now we're going to be going on spring break in a couple of weeks. And so I'm really like dialing it in and really starting to tighten up, because it's my first time in a bathing suit.
Yeah. And you're anticipating it and knowing that you're probably not going to be dialed in while you're gone. Like you're going to be eating kind of what you want while you're away. And so if you really think of it that way, you are going to dial in a little bit beforehand. You'll probably dial in afterwards. And even if you think about it of not a weight loss or bathing suit mentality, but you're thinking overall health. Like, I want to be healthy and I want to live long and I want to be there for my children, my grandchildren, and hopefully my great grandchildren. And if I want to do that, I really should be eating healthy most of the time. But you also want to live a fun life. So yeah, you want the cake too. And that's totally possible. Did you find, and like what you were saying, like for me, if I want to lose weight, if I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm hitting a plateau, or I see my weight creeping up, I need to dial it in and maybe take the treats away for a little bit. Let me ask you a question. How do you track your progress when it comes to weight? Do you weigh yourself every day? Do you weigh yourself once a week? Like, what do you do?
Currently, I weigh myself when I get a chance, which between all the kids is chaotic. And I use it like as just like a guidepost, you know? And so if I start seeing it go up, I just know, okay, I hone it in again. And if it's on you know, if I see it going down again, then I'm, you know, okay, what I'm doing is working, you know? So I use it. And I also know I know I have the B2 system. I've watched all the videos and I know how she talks about like weighing yourself daily, and you can start to see like patterns in what you do. So I know like if I go away for the weekend and we're eating out a lot and I'm not on my game, I see the weight go up. And then a couple of days later, I start to see it go down. And I know it's a flux. You know, I know it's not like there to stay, but you can see those fluctuations in your weight.
And you use it as a tool. It's not something that's going to ruin your day.
Yes. No, it doesn't ruin my day.
So let me ask you another question, totally change of topic. You're a physician's assistant. You work in a derm office. What do you see I don't know how to word this. Why do you love the container system? How do you, like, when it comes to a health um perspective, and like obviously you were coaching for a little bit too, and you're probably going to come back, just putting that out there, but you you refer people, not at work, but you refer people to this program, and from somebody coming from a medical background, like, you obviously love this and you think it's a good program. So why do you think this is such a good program for people? Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah. Well, obviously it's changed my life. Like, I've seen my body change. And now, again, after every single pregnancy, it's gotten me back to fantastic shape. So I'm sold basically just based on that. But I also think, again, it just goes back to its whole food nutrition. It's real nutrition. And because I'm working in a dermatology office, I see, I think, like 300 patients a week at least. Like, I see people of all different lifestyles, walks, and it's crazy. Like, sometimes when you see someone, they don't look their age, like they look older, because they're not taking care of their body, and they have a lot more medical problems. And I have the ability to see their medication list, so I can see how many medications they're on, and that they don't really sometimes look their age. So yeah, from a health standpoint and what I do, I get all that insider information on people, and I can, yeah, that further kind of in my mind validates why this is important for me. And I do at work, when people ask me, oh my gosh, how did you get back in shape after, I tell them what I'm doing, because I think it's real nutrition, it's real food. It's probably, and I don't know, I think it's the best way to eat.
Yeah, I love that. Oh my gosh. You're so inspirational, girlfriend. Okay, so tell me if you have any. Do you have any little, like, ways to keep yourself going when it comes to nutrition? Like, do you have a routine, a weekly routine, a daily routine when it comes to making sure that you're getting your nutrition in?
So I think meal planning and prepping is key, crucial key. So on every Friday now, it's my Friday routine. I make out the, foods for list. I make out our grocery list. And I know Kaylee, that I watched a couple weeks ago, she does the same thing. So I started on Friday though, and then I Instacart everything to my house, so I don't have to go grocery shopping, and I have everything I need. And so I make out my food list that I'm going to have at work. I think about the kids' lunches and snacks and dinners, and making sure, they basically eat fixate too. So they're eating salmon for dinner, veggie, healthy carbs, sweet potatoes. I give them a little bit more leniency, but
I love it. That's like a staple meal in our household. Salmon, sweet potatoes, veggie.
Yeah, it's usually protein, veggie, carb.
Yeah. And I'll do anything to make it like the easiest. Like, put some chicken thighs on a sheet, put some veggies on a sheet, all goes in the oven, done. Slice my potatoes in just slices, no cubes anymore. So, oh my gosh, let's talk just for a second about Instacart, because I was just telling somebody the other day, and Kaylee is the reason I even went back to it. Thank her, praise her, because it has changed my life. The other week, my son was so sick, and he was laying on me, and I was supposed to be out that night, and I'm like laying on the couch realizing I don't have food in the house for tomorrow, right? And because of using Instacart and Amazon Prime, I do both, for Whole Foods, I was able to just lay on the couch with my phone, go through the list of things I've ordered in the past, just click right next to the ones I know we're out of, and voila, I had groceries showing up at my house 2 hours later. Like, let's just talk about the time and the money that actually saves us. Have you noticed, like, what has changed in your life when it comes to ordering food online, groceries?
Obviously, with 4 kids under 8, it's just so much easier. I don't even have to go there. I kind of feel a little guilty about it when they come to the door. But it's so awesome. I think number one, yeah, you can meal plan and prep. Just order everything you need. Look up the recipe if you're going to try something new. Just put it all in there, and then you know you're going to have it. And then you also see even the total at the bottom. So you can kind of see what you're spending. I probably spend less just like mindless shopping and throwing things in the cart, or just buying the things that you need. You know what you need. You're just, it's so much easier.
So
I don't
true.
know what life was without this now.
I just started again like a month ago, and I'm like, oh, great. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Oh, like Kaylee's on here probably. She's like nodding, because
Awesome.
she's like creating this revolution, honey. You're creating a revolution, Kaylee. Anyway, so she's like, what? No, I am in love with it. I think it's life changing. I love that you're like, I feel bad for the people bringing my groceries.
I do. I feel
You're
guilty.
giving them a job. They're like getting money from this. You should be like, yes, this is awesome. I win. You win. We all win. You know, like
Yes.
that's an awesome thing. It is so great. No, this is it's literally life changing. I'm so happy that I started doing that because really life changing. Any other tips that you can think of? So you meal prep. Oh, one other thing I wanted to say is I used to have no energy after planning and then going grocery shopping. I'd bring home the food and I'd have all intentions to meal prep, and then I wouldn't do it because I was exhausted. Even if it was days later, I just wouldn't do it, and then my food would go bad. Now that I order my food online, I am ready, like getting myself pumped to do the meal prep as the food comes. So it's pretty darn cool in that sense too. Any other tips or think, like, even if it's fitness wise, like getting your workouts in? Because I mean, this is something that you can share too. You didn't jump in right away and say, okay, I'm going to work out every day of my life right after giving birth, right?
Yes. I mean, I was thinking about that this morning because I've been really consistent for about 2 or 3 weeks, and now I'm reaping the rewards of that. But before, it was just so easy to just say, it's okay, I'll do it tomorrow. But now I know, like, just do it, just get it done, and it's done. And for me, first thing in the morning is I just got to get it in before the kids get up. If I get it in before the kids get up, then I just don't have to worry about it all day. But it's just so easy to say no. And so just press play and do it anyway. As far as meals, I think sometimes, like, I usually meal prep on Sunday. Sometimes I'll meal prep while I'm cooking dinner. So I'll be like multitasking. And so I'm like, okay, husband, watch kids. And then I'm cooking dinner and doing my meal prep at the same time. And sometimes, like, I'll try to meal prep things that I might be eating for dinner during the week. Like the other Sunday, I made those meatballs again, those turkey meatballs. And so we had them in the spaghetti sauce for dinner. And then I made up like a whole bunch so that I froze them all in like little servings. And so if I ever need like a carb or a protein last minute, I could just pull it out. So if you could make a double batch of something and freeze it, like maybe like the chilies freeze well, definitely the turkey meatballs freeze well. So you could kind of prep even for future meals. I don't know. I think you just got to find your groove. I think like once you find meals that you like and you find a groove, it just gets easier, and it's just learning a new system. And then again, like you said, it just becomes like a lifestyle, and it's just second nature, and you just can't not do it anymore. Like it's just in you.
That's so great. And you're right. It's always the beginning that's going to be the most challenging. The beginning, or when life changes, like when your life circumstances change, then it's kind of, you feel like you're starting over, but just a reminder, you're never starting over. You already know the information and you've done it before. So it's really not starting over. It's just trying to get back into like a groove again. So yeah, never say I'm starting over. You're never starting over. Even if you've gained all your weight back and some, you really aren't starting over. You've learned something in the past. You're in a different situation, and you can take what you've learned in the past and help it with this time. So you're never starting over. And then, things might change. So you have to get like back into a groove, and a different groove. It's never going to be the same groove because things are different, right? And so that's something else to keep in mind. Give yourself grace, just like Leigh gives herself grace, and never ever give up. And that is, you've given me that inspiration, Leigh. I love it. I love that you're willing to share and be open, and I am so thankful for you, so grateful for you. Somebody else just said on here, she said, for real, Instacart is like Uber. It's something people can do to supplement income. It's a blessing for them, like this business is for us. And that's true. Speaking of Leigh makes me always constantly think I should be doing a Pinterest training, because I'm like, wow, if Leigh comes out of Pinterest, like I need to do more Pinterest with my business.
That's where I go to search recipes. Maybe you should, because I even still, like, I'll go on there and write Beachbody, morning recipes, dinner recipes. Yeah. And I'm always looking for something. Yeah. So that's how I found you.
Yeah, we're going to have to talk more about that. But Leigh's like my only awesome coach slash challenger slash customer who came from Pinterest, and it just makes me be like, I should do more with that thing. Thank you so much, Leigh. We only have a minute left, but any last words from you, like encouragement or words or anything to somebody who's watching this and struggling because they think it's taking longer than they want it to?
Just keep at it. It's going to work. If you can, you just got to find your system in your life. You know, it's like, I can't tell people exactly what I do and then do it. And you know what I mean? Like they may not like the foods I eat or those types of things, but you just got to find your own groove and find your own, you know, system, but it'll work.
I agree. And never, ever, ever give up.
I'm a lifer.
Don't give up.
Yeah. Don't give up.
Leigh bleeds blue. Beachbody blue.
I do, for real.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I know everybody else on the call appreciates it. I hope your kids are starting to wake up now and you already feel
I hear them upstairs.
Melissa says, being 7 months postpartum, I needed to hear this. So thank you, guys. Next week we'll have I'm not sure yet, but we'll have somebody on here, whether it's me or with somebody, I'm not sure. I'll give you an update later, but have an awesome Saturday and eat the best you can and never, ever give up. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.